none could defeat him when he was present on the battlefield. So, my question is this. In the West, people have an interest in occult, in parapsychology, subtle material phenomena, subtle material phenomenon. And it is accepted by some that people can subtly attack other people on the subtle plane. That there can be war beyond the gross material plane, on the subtle plane. So my question is, when there's opposition parties and bad feelings, can one party be disturbing the other party subtly on this subtle plane? In other words, can they make disturbance from a distance?
He says that when there are opposition parties in apparent spiritual movements, then can one party have a type of subtle war on the other by some means, maybe mantra, tantra or something? Is it possible that they can affect and have any victory that way? That's just great.
Maharaj শুনছেন বলছে দুই বিবদমান পার্টি যদি লড়াই করে তাহলে এর মধ্যে কে ভালো কে মন্দ এর কি কোনো নির্ণয় হবে? যার ক্ষমতা বেশি সে করবে, তর্কা প্রতিষ্ঠান আদায়।
From a distance, one party can disturb the other party from a distance? Is it possible by any means at all?
Through books, through agents, or if they develop psychic force.
Yes, psychic force.
Thereby also they can do it. Even they can cure the disease also. Yes. Psychic power from distance. Anyone says so.
Yeah, this is the question.
Now, this is about exploring things. Tarka pratisthana. Jatnai raparita partham. এই কুশলেই রাম সূর্যতে গিয়াছে ইয়েতে ভক্তি রসামৃত সিন্ধুতে। So Tarkapantha and the Sautapantha. We have to conceive the difference between Tarkapantha, the ascending method, as an inductive method, and the deductive method, or descending method, revealed truth. Tarkapantha, as a method of logic, a better genius can defeat another in this by arguments. By arguments we cannot ascertain the truth. Truth is independent of all sorts of conjectures ever come or may come in the world. We have to understand the difference between the two. The truth coming himself towards towards those that are attacked by non-truth. Infinite comes to find that is one. Jame Vaishab Duniti, Tena Lobha. And no Medharaba Bhaguna Sukhena, no Tarkena, no Vicharena, debating or discussion by nothing else. Nannat jatha stula tusavo khatina. Tush means the cover of this paddy. If only the cover of the paddy is being first, people can করবার জন্য পেশাকে কি বলে? Husked. Tusavo khatina. If only the cover of the paddy is being husked for infinite time, no paddy, no rice will come out. We are seeking bhakti mudashyate vivo klishyanti je kevala bodha labde tesam asau klesha levusha klishate nannat jatha sthula tushava.
Srila
bhakti mudashyate vivo klishyanti je kevala bodha labde. So, nayamatma pravatanena lobha no medhaya ba bahuna sutena jame vaisha brinite tena lobha. Everything is finished here. When he likes to make himself known to anybody, only that body can know through his grace. And here, from this frame, they may dash their head to pieces, but no trace of that higher trace. Do you follow?
Yes.
Yes, Maharaj.
You please explain that. Please elaborate. Sautapan, Bodhopan, it is coming down. Truth can come down and come at his pleasure. Whenever he will select, he will know him. In the same place, he wants to know, make himself known to one. The others cannot know. They can know differently. Mallar Nama Sunni, Nang Arabara, Sri Nam, Sri Murti Nam, Krishna entering the arena of concert. And different systems of people are seeing him in different ways. Whenever he wants to make himself known, in what way? He can know him only that way. It is his will, and not the will of the knower who wants to know. Anyhow, to influence him that he comes down, and this is the devotion of bhakti, saranagati expression. Otherwise, we shall know with this attitude, none can know what to speak of established by the discussion of love. Have you all understood it like that?
Yes.
Or more explanation necessary? Then Guru Maharaj will speak something to elaborate.
Guru Maharaj,
Yes.
can I rephrase some of that question?
Yes.
As Napoleon, his presence created a situation for the opposition party which practically made him invincible.
After all, Napoleon is a man of this mundane world.
Yes.
One good logician can suppress another man of real capacity. It is here.
Yes.
But no Napoleon, by the dint of his own genius, can enter into the transcendental world, which the transcendental truth is so fine and of subjective nature, and never of any objective nature. He is all subject. The whole, he can take only initiative of all the actions, especially about him. So subtle that the human consciousness cannot inquire and capture him as a subject that cannot be dealt with. Super subjective area. Transcendental অধোক্ষজ means super subjective. Mind with myself is so gross. Myself, my knowledge, myself and its knowledge is so gross that cannot enter. Just as earth cannot enter electricity. Electricity can enter anywhere, but iron cannot enter into electricity. Electricity will pass through iron. But anyway, Ranjan Rashi something, if electricity is non-conductor, it cannot be through. But there's some ether that can pass through anything. Anything. The iron wire, the wooden wire, they will pass through anything and electricity. But wood cannot enter into it. It is so fine. Something like that. Super subjective. All subjective existence. And very, very fine. And Jeev consciousness is too gross to conceive that thing. Just as the eye cannot see so many things, microscopic ones are there, but our eye, it is beyond the reach of human eyes, only through microscope we can trace something. So this gross subjective character which the individual soul possesses, that is so gross that cannot have any, can trace any existence of that most subtle thing in the conscious body. So Naramatma working only when that fine thing descends into this gross plane, then the gross plane in a passive way feels something, that something is encroaching in him and he cannot oppose. So fine. That is entering into this gross plane of human consciousness. So fine knowledge and so peculiar type he gets wonder. There's a wonderful touch of a very blissful, how I find extraordinary bliss touching my mind, my consciousness. Then if that is withdrawn, oh, no trace of that wonderful, blissful touch in me again. So that is of another type. So Jamoy Vaishya Vinuti, whomever he will select to be caught by him, he can get trace, otherwise none can trace him. It is a very easy thing. So many things existing beyond the jurisdiction of our sight. So many sounds are there which our ear cannot hear. They are all limited. So human consciousness is limited to make inquiry or understand of that thing. But when that thing comes to us, we can feel on the passage. That sort of thing, transcendental, supranantal. This is the terms given by the philosophers about his attributes and existence. Sat Chit Anandam. The Vallabh Sampradaya said, Sat is what little things Sat, with the matter. Chit, Sat, Chit, both in Jiva, soul. And Sat Chit Ananda only in the third thing, that is Lord. Jiva has consciousness, but not Ananda. Mere consciousness. And Ananda is there. Sat Chit Ananda, three, in full fledged is there in the cause. But Mahaprabhu said that Jiva is an atom of consciousness and they have a very negligible point of blissfulness. Satchidananda, three things, only in a very meager way, at a most negligent degree in Jiva. I could not make it clear.
No, very clear.
Very clear. But our Vidagdha Madhav Prabhu, he is not satisfied perhaps. more elaboration he wants.
I think it's my low position. That I'm coming from such a low position, and you're answering it on such an exalted platform.
No, you have brought the example of Napoleon.
Yes.
And I sometimes used it for some other topics. But why you have
Well, I'll be
taken Napoleon here? Napoleon is a hero in the material world, but no spiritual reference.
ওর প্রশ্নটা বোধহয় ওটা ছিল এক্সাম্পল।
হ্যাঁ, এক্সাম্পল তো নেপোলিয়নের এক্সাম্পল আমি তো দিয়ে থাকি।
হ্যাঁ, আপনি আগে এক্সাম্পলটা দিয়েছেন, ও সেই এক্সাম্পলটা কি ব্যবহার করছে এক্সাম্পল হিসেবে।
এটা মিসআন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড করেছেন, আমি কোন পয়েন্টে দিয়েছি সেটা ধরতে পারিনি।
তা হতে পারে।
As a mundane example that Napoleon, he could conquer any force. So, someone is endowed with the empowered and dedicated power of the Lord, then he can conquer anyone, something like that. Genius and the spiritual genius are the favorite of Lord. Lord is backing home such a devotee as Arjuna. He can conquer anyone and everyone.
This is Janice.
Is backed by the Supreme Lord, Supreme Authority. Such a devotee can face any eventuality. Jagai Madhai. Jagai Madhai, the greatest rogue of the time, attacked Nityananda Prabhu and immediately converted. That as an ordinary devotee would not be able to do that. Nityananda Prabhu could do so. Something like that I might have told, and took the example of Napoleon to make it clear. The Napoleon could defeat any force which he was independent of the magnitude and the efficiency of the opponent.
So, Guru Maharaj, when those that are flying, at least in name, the banner of Mahaprabhu, they have some disagreement, and even sometimes to the point of attacking the other side. You see, how is that to be considered?
Maybe two parties, both are professing to hold the flag of Mahaprabhu, the banner of Mahaprabhu. But they may even attack each other to the war, to the end. So what is the position here? What is the explanation of this?
This is the question of Yama is our Saurabhiya party. Our Guru Maharaj dismissed them all by quoting one Siddha Mahatma Prabhu. Raul Bhatta Bhaja, Nara Jabbe Sai Saurabhiya Soki Lagi Sanskar Yatra Sai exposed them. Gaur Nagari, they claim that we are followers of Mahaprabhu. How so many others say we are followers of Mahaprabhu. But Guru Maharaj had to expose them and clearly he discarded them and preached his own thing. And all, still there's so many others in their camp. They do not take the Shaurya section, do not take the opinion of Gaudiya Maharaj. So the subtle points there are, and it depends upon the sincerity of the soul. Who can know? आचार्य कहे वस्तु विषय है वस्तु ज्ञान वस्तु तत्व ज्ञान है कृपाते प्रमाण Gopinath Acharya and the Sarvabhauma was discussing about Mahaprabhu. Sarvabhauma was not converted so far. When he was not, before his conversion, they talking between Gopinath Acharya and Sarvabhauma and his students. Gopinath Acharya told that only through the grace of God one can know God, no other alternative. Then Sarvabhauma put this question, Sarvabhauma, Tumate Ishwar Kripa Vise Ki Bhavana? You have got the grace, and I have not got the grace. What is the guarantee there? How to decide? That you got the grace of God. What you say about God, that is true. But I have not got the grace. Got the grace. So my words are not real. आचार्य का ये वस्तु विषय है वस्तु ज्ञान वस्तु तत्व ज्ञान है कृपा से प्रमाण very subtle point to know what is what. There is a position to know the reality, and those that do not know the reality, they cannot understand. So it should, just as the other day I told, Atma Parijnanamayu Vivado Dhastiti Nastiti Vidapna. A party says that there is no God. Another party says there is God. The difference, all the differences, how they can be magnified. The real fact is one thing, and disqualification is another thing. So there will be so many parties who has realized no truth, who has realized 1%, 50%, 55% in this way the differences will go up. Still in the whole, the perfect plane of truth, there is also difference. Jar jai rashtrei kaha sabuttam. The Vatsalya Rasa says, no, mine is the highest. Sakha Rasa says, mine is the highest. Tatastha hoya vicharite ase tarapam. But there is possibility of withdrawing from the relative position and understand and give judgment about that non-party decision. And thereby we can know the gradation. And who has got that innermost understanding capacity to catch that fine thing, they come and accept that. Accept that. But sometimes these relative positions have to surrender, to submit to the absolute point. The Vatsalya Rasa can realize sometimes that no, Madhurya Rasa is more powerful. So there is a clash, a fight is there. And the Vatsalya Rasa is defeated by Madhurya Rasa. Then they have got that bitter experience. But still they do not like to admit it whole time in the public. It goes so far. the differentiation, the hierarchy. Everywhere it is. And it is not very easy to understand. The Santarasa devotees, it is not very easy to, very exceptional cases they are removed. Pingalka Mishra Tulasi Makaranda Vai Antargata Savivarina Chakaratisan Sankhuva Mukha Yusan Duttatam Atmanam, the self-satisfied. But suddenly, in one occasion, some Tulasi Gandha scent, divine scent, disturbed their balance of mind, that they are self-sufficient. They are tasting their own, the rasa of their own Atma, and that is the last point of realization. Sukadev, he was also in such a position, and fully satisfied, he thought himself. But Parimishtudu Vinod Uttama Sloka Lindaya Vita Cheta Rajarsi Akhananja Vita Vittata Sri Gudiyamana Bhaushadha Sutta Manu Hirama Kauttama Sloka Gunam Vadat Manvira Jeta The Brahmagyan, the Bhagavad Gyan is about Brahmagyan. Ordinary Brahmagyan do not admit this. But there are exceptional special cases, exceptional cases. Who comes to prove this? In this way, there are so many sections. One section, they may assert that what the mind is the highest realization. This yogi, this Vedanti, this Kormi, so many sections in the thought of the world we find, but generally they won't admit that mind is lower to another. But still a comparison is possible, and it depends upon the fitness, upon the capacity, the inner taste, ruchi, to have the higher thing. Atma parigyānamayo vivādo. Just as differentiation from theist and atheist in a gross way, so among the theists there are also that gradational differences. And one party cannot generally admit the higher position of the other, but still it is there, and the taste to accept the higher, the innate taste, that is the guarantee to that. One who has passed through all these stages to the highest, and when he comes to be an evidence, he will say, for this is higher, for this, again this is higher. Sanatana Goswami has proved that through that Gopa boy, that first he is thinking this is the highest end, going there, again dissatisfaction, again getting the chance, he is next higher, in this way he is going up. How from our present position we can rise up and up, that has been shown in his Brihad Bhagavatamrita by the example of that Gopakumar. It is possible, it is within our understanding, but all may not understand of the truth of any and every grade. Just as there is gradation in truth itself, himself, so also there is gradation among the knowers, among those that have come to realize. There is also gradation. And the fit will gather to his own place. And there is a tendency always that where I am, it is the best place. And we have to get out of that. Saranagati and this sort of attitude will help us to receive higher vibration of the truth, finest vibration of the truth. If we disown ourselves, our ego generally opposes to catch the fine vibration. But if we can dissolve that ego and be very open, Amani Manada and being and self-abnegation and self-forbearance and no assertion of ourselves, and to give honor to every vibration of the environment. With this attitude we can go off. It will help us to catch the higher truth and go out. Aranagati. He will come down to reveal himself. First, this sort of principle will have to accept. The truth is higher. I cannot force him to come to serve me, my sweet pleasure. He's higher. And of his own accord, he may come to me. So with what attitude to search after him? Mahaprabhu, in this way, you can attract him towards you, and as much as he will make himself known to you, you will be able to know that part of him. So no end. So no necessity of conquering the kingdom. The kingdom will come himself. Ramanuja says, once he had to have entered a discussion with a Mayavadi Pandit, and the 14 or 15 days continuously discussed, the hot discussion was going on. And he thought himself unfit, and he came to the temple of Bharadaja. And they prayed, how is this? That to establish your devotion, dignity of your devotion, I pray I am worthless. I can't defeat that Mayavadi Pandit to establish your devotion as the Supreme. So helpless am I. But after that, Ramanuja appraised that man again as prearranged. Whenever Ramanuja was present, that man came and submitted to him. Now I recapitulate and assimilate what you said, and I say that you are, what you told, that is true. That is true, I submit to it. The will of Bharadacharya, Bharadaraj. So it is like that. The victory is like that. It is not in the hand of any, within the fist of any person. It is there. Mahaprabhu, there is an art of jujutsu. Jujutsu is an art of conquering the enemy, not by force, but by negative withdrawal. Withdrawal. So, many places it has been done like that. Mahaprabhu approached Sarvabhauma, Prakasananda, and conquered them almost negative, by negative attitude. I do not know anything, I am a fool, a stupid, no idea in the Shastra, you are big man in this way. But I am hard for my Guru in this way, I do that. Murkho tumi tomar nahi Vedanta dhikar, Krishna naam bhavasada imantosa. You are a stupid person, you have got no capacity to enter into the high knowledge of Vedanta. You take the name of the Lord and that will help you to the Atma. I do that. He entered in the discussion of with Prakasananda Maharaj Pandit in such a way that I am a fool and the Guru after me. But the achievement that disarmed that opponent, this attitude disarmed the opponent, and he came with sincere search, and then finding all the things, he was converted. This is his will. Always we should invite his attention, his grace to do before we go to do anything and everything. We remember him. We throw ourselves in his mercy. What is his decision? That will be all right. Otherwise, I will hunt after my name and the fame and the glory, self-glory. All won't accept in this world of Maya. Bhagavad Gita is there, Bhagavad is there, so many devotees are there. But still all was not converted. So many examples, Prahlada's example, Dhruva example, so many examples, but still there is atheist there. The karma of jiva is there. There is sun, but no eye. Then vivado jhastiti nastiti vidatmanis. In gross and so in subtle matters also like that. So that unascertained future has been, our past has been given the name of bhagya, of fortune. Brahmanya bhumite kono bhagyavan ji, that a particular section who have come up to the point where from they can be able to understand, to see this. At that section, it is not for all. Not for all. The argument will be, real argument will be pushed forward, but they won't understand that argument. They have no capacity to understand. It is useless to them. But some will see the justice in the argument. Oh, this is true. So this is bhagwan or inner capacity to catch the truth. The subtle things with ease. Brahma explaining Veda, Indra, Virochana, there are so many students. They will understand in different way, according to their state. From the same source, Predicaments and the Parampurya. From the same source coming, flowing, and one can understand, another cannot. So according to the capacity of the hearer, they will be ranked in different clans and sections. Bhagavad Gita is there. And ostensibly, apparently, many sections accept the Bhagavad Gita as the most authentic. But still, there are great gulf between their understanding. Adhikar vichar. So in the Shastra, Parakkhavad Veduyam, Sadharme Islam Siyo Paradharmo Bhayavaha. Very forcefully it is placed there. Rather die, don't leave your present position. And then Sarvadharman Parityajamani. Go ahead, the general said. First the general said, don't leave your position. Whatever severe attack comes to your life, don't come back. Die there, don't come back. Then again says, no, march on. And one will think, oh, you already told that don't move an inch. Now you say, give up your position. What is this? Krishna himself said, no tatane priyatamo natmijoni nasankara, mata sankarsana nasti naiva atma jodala. Brahma's position is not less, not to be ignored, to be disregarded. Brahma, he is giving so many boons to so many demons. Then Mahadev, he is sometimes competing with Narayana. Then Baladev, then Lakshmi Devi. Everyone of them is a standard of some highest realization. But still gradation is there. And it is unbelievable, that gradation. Still it is there. Every chief in his state gets the absolute position. But when there is a meeting of all the chiefs of of the state in one place? Who will get the honored position? How much to be ascertained there? Sometimes here by severity it is judged easily, but not always. The merit is there. Not severity but merit. Question of merit is there. That is more abstract and difficult. It's difficult, but still it is there, the gradation. Brahma, Shiv, Baladev, Lakshmi, Uddhav, Narad, Uddhav, Gopi, and this way, going on. And it is puzzling that the Gopi himself says that we are none. They are worshipping so many gods. And from another quarter he said that the Gopis who are worshippers are better than whom they worship. Most puzzling thing. And how we have to understand. The one who is worshipping a god, his position is better than the god he is worshipping. Most puzzling. How? We have to know this. Gyan should not by the volume of the body, that is one consideration, that one will be given honor. But if we take the understanding of the intellect, intelligence into account, then body consideration will go down. Then so many intellectuals, but when the honesty is taken into account, then intellectual, the standard, then intellectually stand with big bodies, they will go on. The question of energy, the economy, that is great. There are so many examples. Hannibal, Alexander, all these things. And the scholars, Newton, Einstein, that, in this way. The highest culture is devotion, submission to the absolute one. Is one, and affinity, faith towards him, that is the highest criterion of measurement. Highest criterion measurement is considered our sincere surrender or sincere attachment, devotion to the highest spirit, and not our knowing inquisitiveness. And what to speak of this raw energy. Karmik bhapparitu haripriyata bhakti yadu jnanina sthit bhagyan vimukta bhakti parama primoy kunishthasta. In this way, it is going. Different standpoint. And the difference in the standpoint of calculation is there. From the standpoint of energy, from the standpoint of understanding, and from the standpoint of our affinity, or regard, or attraction, or taste, or service, love. Bhakti Marga, Jnana Marga, Sreyo. Generally there is a fight. Also there are so many other big persons that preach only about karma. But there are others who preach for the renunciation, the jnana. And there is another section that for service, for devotion. and clash between these three, the yoga and these three four. And then still within their section there is the fight. The communists, the Russian communists, the Chin communists, here also at the 2 and 3 sections of communists. And the communists and the democrats. And in America, Republican and the Democrat. But very subtle difference between the two. Gross and subtle, pure and impure. And everyone stands as guarantee for his own test, for his own future, after all. We have to take risk. We have to be sincere, we have to take risk. Ultimately, my fortune depends on me, free will of Jiva. Without consideration the grace that may come or not come. And that comes also to the fittest, not to the hypocrites. So, individual enterprise in the spiritual world cannot be eliminated altogether. Whether he still selects surrender or selects Soham, I am above all. The risk must be taken by our own self. We can't eliminate us from the responsibility for our future fate, our fate. In Saranagati, in surrender also there are two things. One side is Marjaro, like the cubs of the cats and the mud-cotton man, who has got some sort of free action, embraces mother, and the mother takes him anyhow and everywhere. And the cat cub cannot do nothing. The cat bites by the neck and removes him here and there. Both kinds of Sharanagati. For Mahaprabhu's choice is towards the mud-cotton man. He has got his free will. However meager, small, negligent it is, but it is there. No kartittam, no karmani, lokasya srijati prabhu, no karma phalajam logam, prabhavastu pravartati. I am not responsible, Lord says Krishna. For these differences in the world, I am not responsible. That is his nature. That is to take the responsibility of his past and future and present always. Because a particle of free will also is there. Because it is soul, it is consciousness. Consciousness means endowed with free will. A small part, a small freedom, but it is there. When British left India, they gave the choice divided into Hindustan and Pakistan. And the chiefs are given the choice either to side Pakistan or Hindustan. And Maharaja Kashmir, he was very difficult. The subjects, mainly Mohammedan and very near to Pakistan, and but he was Hindu, he was wavering which side to join. He had got it. But the Pakistan managed through the tribe, the hill tribes to attack Kashmir. Then he joined Hindustan. And then Hindustan sent force under Mountbatten, who was the last viceroy, and India kept him as long as the staff, complete staff. And Mountbatten was able captain, and through his advice, when tanks were taken in the front, Pakistan had to go back. And then Pakistan came. And Jawaharlal and Gandhi, they committed some blunder and they accepted plebiscite or something. The people of Kashmir, which side they would go, whichever. But all people did not agree to that condition, so it was stopped there as much as they enclosed, Pakistan enclosed. The line is still there and the funnel is still. So the chiefs, the British left to the chiefs, go this side or that side. So this side Maya and this side service and enjoyment. You jiva, you try. Your choice is with you. Have a small freedom you have got, you have to choice. Which side? Exploitation and self-vindication. You have to be a party. You cannot get scot-free about your life. You must have to take responsibility, however small it may be, according to your position. Responsibility you must take for yourself. This is the decision. So everywhere it should be applied, in every stages of our life. This indiscriminable point has been named as bhagya, fortune. The most subtle, indiscriminable points are almost imaginary. It is there. মাঝে বুঝতে পারছেন আপনি কিছু কিছু
না
আমি কি বলছি কিছু বুঝতে পারছেন না প্রশ্ন উত্তর
ওই মোটামুটি একটা
একটা সংস্কৃত বলতে পারে খালি বুঝতে পারছি
সেইগুলো একটা
এই লাইনে চলছে
We had one boy in London who he couldn't accept if God is all-knowing, he knows the past, present, and future. Why has he allowed us to enter into such a predicament, a suffering situation? Why has he allowed us to enter into this suffering situation? He didn't like the fact that God allowed the jiva to enter into this suffering situation.
Who has allowed? God. Is to be blamed.
Yes.
Yeah.
But God has not allowed. They said there is no God. You are only existence. You will deny that you are existent. But your existence means what? Some sort of magnitude. So he will to guide your responsibility with you. If you were to admit that you exist, what is that you? Analyze. And there it will be found that a point of responsibility for your faith is there. Yes. Microphone.
তরুণ কৃষ্ণ তৈরি হচ্ছে
যাওয়ার জন্য।
হ্যাঁ,
হ্যাঁ,
ওকে তৈরি করে দেন আশীর্বাদ দিয়ে। আশীর্বাদ করে যখন বিশেষ দরকার হবে ওকে পাঠাবেন। আর
Guru Maharaj, Viraha Prakash Maharaj asking, reading Brihad Bhagavatamrita, it seems like instruction on Sakya. Sanatana Goswami is in Madhurya.
Sanatana Goswami has ended in Shakha there. That Gopakuvas taken to Shakha and finished there. And the Madhurya has been taken down there to participate in the lower part. But Sanatana Goswami generally ended there in Shakha. The Gopakumar entered the Shakha Rasa. And there he could feed that what is the Madhurya Rasa to a certain extent, as it is possible from that place. Here ended Sanatana Goswami.
But why did he only go that far? Why only to that point?
That is specially entrusted on Rupa Goswami. And that was done before Sanatana. Mahaprabhu, though Rupa Goswami, formally he was already disciple of Sanatana. And younger brother also. But when Mahaprabhu coming back from Vrindavan, he met Rupa Goswami first in Allahabad. And he taught him there, mostly concerning this Ragamarga. And also, in short, I'm told that I am giving some inspiration, my goodwill to him. And he was one who was entrusted with that Madhurya Rasa, Parupi, etc. that I had done. Then he met Sanatana in Benares. And there for 2 months, there were 15 days, and here 2 months he taught Sanatana. And mostly about Vidhi Marga, touching Ragamarga. And so, because Rupa Goswami was accepted first as a student from Mahaprabhu, his name comes first, Rup Sanatana, not Sanatana Rup generally. Rup gets though disciple of Sanatana formally, and also younger brother, still he comes first. Damda Samas, the combination of Samas, the Pujyatva, according to respect, the word comes first. That is root in the grammar, the root Sanatana. Root came first in consideration, because we are the first disciple. Earlier than Sanatana, only a difference of few days, but still he is considered. And he was interested with the Ragamarga. And the Sanatana made the Vidhima, touching that Raga. And Jiva Goswami again lower, to prove Sanatana, especially Rupa, from the quotation of different scriptures and by arguments also. That was given to Jiva Goswami. Different types of service.
Viraha Prakash Maharaj
Yes.
also mentions that in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Sanatana Goswami lightly mentions Gopala mantra. What is that?
Dashakara.
But Mahaprabhu got from Ishwarpuri, Radha Shakkar Gopala mantra. But according to Mahaprabhu got from his Guru Gopala mantra, the Radha Shakkar. But Mahaprabhu himself inspired Sanatana Goswami to discuss the Shastras and to discriminate and to fix mantra. And Sanatana Goswami, according to his instruction and insinuation, he has given this Radha Shakkar mantra to us to be more suitable. And we follow that now. But he does not follow my version. You explain to him.
Yes. He says yes.
Followed.
He followed. Later I'll translate more detail.
Guru Maharaj, at what point can a devotee give up having an authority to advance in Krishna consciousness? At what point can a disciple or a devotee give up the conception of having an authority, someone over him in Krishna consciousness?
That's the point.
At what
To give up authority means
Working under somebody's direction.
at what stage, in some stage in
he
life?
can be independent.
Yes. You mean that? At what stage can he be
Authority
independent?
means external authority.
Yes,
When he gets-
external authority.
When he gets direct connection from the Lord,
Yes.
then he may not follow any medium. When coming in direct connection with the highest authority, then no agent, no medium is necessary, no mediator. It is ostentatiously, but internally there is medium, and he is always fond of that line, always keeping Guru above him, the medium, the agent, internal. But externally, he may not feel any necessity of consulting any Shastra, Atita, that are here, the Sadhu or Shastra.
Is this an advanced stage?
Sajahati matin loke vede cha parinishthita. Vyas hai? Matin loke vede
যদাযশ্চানুগৃহ্ণাতি ভগবান আত্মভাবিত সজহাতি মতিং লোকে বেদে চ পরিনিষ্ঠিতা যদাযশ্চানুগৃহ্ণাতি Bhagavan Atmabhavita.
He can catch direct connection from him, and necessarily he may not have to depend on the scriptures that are given here for the less understanding people, less realizing people.
Sahajavati muting loke vede ch purishya.
And he does not care for the opinion of the people, of the society, or the scriptures, even the scriptures.
But then in such a stage, someone might say, justify some activity that might be contrary to what the scripture is saying that he is above the scripture.
There are other canvassers, agents, sub-agents, they will connect that. Within Vedas so many things, Sutil is Vimigyan. Ved, the scripture is only searching for, and the gradation in the scripture. And okay, Babaya, Mishra, the Karma can the scripture, Gana can the scripture, Bhakti can the scripture, the gradation, and then upwards, all the scriptures are only showing the direction, but this side they are. We cannot go further. The Shruti in the Rasa, in the Rasa of Krishna, the Shruti has entered, and they are begging forgiveness that we could not represent you properly, that you are so sweet and you are so playful. You failed to do this. So please forgive us for our offenses. This Shruti. To realize, understand, the Veda is apologizing.
Its inability to
We
describe.
fail to express, you are so beautiful and playful. We fail to discharge our duty. We could not understand so far you are, so far you are. Sudhi Vimigyan. Sudhi also says, oh, this side. On this side he is something. Yes, Naham Vedantavit Veda Vidiva Chaham. Yes,
Vedanta Krit Veda Vidya. Vedascha Sarvaiva Hammeva
Vedash
Vedyo.
Vastai Rahameva Veddo. Vedantavit Veda Vidiva Chaham. The knower of the Veda and the giver of the Veda and the purpose of Veda all missing. Ved comes from me. I do not come from Ved. I sent Ved to help you, the unqualified.
Guru Maharaj, I have heard many sannyasis in Gaudiya Mat. They are calling you Shiksha Guru. So they are accepting you as an authority. Is that true? They come, I've seen occasionally members of Gaudiya Mat come and sometimes pose questions.
Not all, but a part. They think me that they can get some help from me for my what little realization I have got coming in the mouth. That's some message. We have got to learn something from my experience.
We are certain it's not just a formality that we are convinced of.
Gaudiya Mat, Do you include Swami Maharaj within Gaudiya Math? Necessarily this ISKCON? And do they have any recognition for me? So a small part.
Even Srila Prabhupada, Swami Maharaj himself considered himself part of the Gaudiya Math. He wrote in one fourth canto, in the description of Puranjana becomes a woman in his next life. He describes in one purport how the movement started by Bhakti Vinod and carried out by Bhakti Siddhanta is the Krishna consciousness movement, of which we are all part. And all my God brothers, we are all God brothers, and we might have some differences of opinion, but we are all spreading Krishna consciousness according to our own capacity, and making thousands, hundreds of thousands of disciples all over the world. These are his own words.
Guru Maharaj, our Gurudev has said that the concept of the temple of understanding should be done under your direction and philosophical instructions. So I ask your permission to prepare questions pertaining to this subject of the different levels described in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, that you may be able to describe to us the pictures or dioramas to depict Janaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, Viraj, Shivaloka, Vaikuntha, all the different planes.
If everyone attains it substantially, I can help him. But at my present speech, I cannot do it the whole by myself. I had a mind to build a temple here, displaying the Bhagavatamrita teachings in the temple. But that was very much costly when I went to engineer. Long, long ago, about 30 years ago. Then when Swami Maharaj came, I asked him that this was my desire, that I should not. You have got immense resources. If you like, you can do it. And he accepted.
Yes.
And he asked his persons there. He had from Sridhar Maharaj and tried to prepare a plan and build a temple there accordingly. And they also tried in the beginning, but gradually now where that plan is gone, I do not know.
Yes. That's why I'm asking your permission to attain this information from your divine grace.
Parvat Maharaj is very serious to
Yes, if he
fulfill this.
goes and then what help is possible from this age, I am ready to help them. That's it. But it should be taken by someone who is well versed in such theological comparative study. The time?
About 20 past 9. 20 past 9. Notakuri. Right. We understand in Garuda Purana, perhaps, that in Garuda Purana, that a pure bhakta is very, very rare. Ekantya ko vishishyate. So if you say only a small amount are appreciating you, it must be because what you're giving is very, very rare and very, very special,
Maybe
of the highest quality.
yes, one will be able to realize the subtle position of the gradation of the domain of love. At least I think that's what I have heard from my Guru Maharaj and collected from the collaborated from the scriptures. More or less I can represent them. And my Guru Maharaj also, he felt satisfaction. But I understood about the glorious sound. That also I can say. And some of my friends also may collaborate. On the whole, he was satisfied with my realization about the glorious. To understand, that is to realize and to try to express that how one go is holds the highest position. How? The position of Sri Rupa is the highest. To understand that in a comparative time. In this way, this holds the highest position. To follow that. And more or less, more intensely or little shallow or deep. But to reach that position and understand, realize sincerely, to feel that this is the highest position given by Mahaprabhu, the Rupana position. Why? Some idea. And the question of intensity and depth of that understanding. But this is the limit, and how this can be the acme of our realization, the goal, highest goal. To have an idea of that. The structure is there. And to have a photo of that structure, and to get in one's heart, and to at the same time the development there, the ornaments, the ornamental work, and the staff by which it is built, some sort of idea like that. The temple. The temple. It is a temple. Hare Krishna. And it is extended as grace It may be withdrawn any time.
Guru Maharaj, in Nectar of Devotion, our Gurudev has said that there was a time when Krishna, wanting to enjoy, separated himself as Radha and Krishna. So, was there a time they were not separated? Was there a time Radha and Krishna were not separated? Ladini Shakti?
Not there was a time, but the both is eternal, both aspects. It is written in a poem of Prabhu Damodar Goswami. Radha Krishna Pranavigate Dhadini Shakti Rasma Ekatmana Bhavi Bhuvi Pujadi Hridam Gatauto Chaitanyakkham Prakatamajuna Tadayam Chaikkamaptam Radha Bhavadubhi Suvaritam Naumi Krishna Sarupam. There is a verse composed by Prabhu Damodar. Here it is mentioned like this. Radha Krishna Pranayabhiti. The presence, the position of Radha and Krishna not separate. Pranayabhiti. The Krishna has within him the principle of love. And that potency, when little distinctive and clearly seen, that we see as Radha. Radha is a particular higher or the highest potency of Krishna in full. So they are one and the same. One cannot exist separately. It is automatically the substance and the potency. Krishna is substance, Radha is potency. So potency cannot stand independently, neither substance without potency. So one and the same. Radha, Krishna, Pranayabhagiti, Krishna Pranayabhagiti, the Radhini Shakti. She is Radhini, the highest potency of Krishna, which embraces both Sat Chit, the conscious and the existence. Radhini. Radhini means Ananda. Ananda presupposes consciousness and existence. But the stone only has got existence, neither consciousness nor bliss. And the consciousness presupposes existence, but it may not contain blissfulness. That blissfulness or ecstasy or ananda is already presupposes existence and consciousness. So, Dhadini Shakti, that is the ecstatic potency that represents the whole potency in its existence, and that is Radha. So Radha and Krishna, they are one and the same. Radha Krishna Pranagati Bhavini Shakti. Asmat, for this reason, hence, Ekatmana Bhavibhuvira Dehavedam Gatautam. So they are one and same, one thing combined, one soul. Bhavibhura Dehavedam Gatautam. We find in Vrindavan, they are divided into two, and they are having their Leela, and the others paraphernalia come from both of them, emanated from them. Dehavedam Gatautam. Chaitanyakham prakatamudhina tadvayam chaitanatam. And who is Chaitanya Dev? That is, again when they are combined, becomes Chaitanya. In ancient time, in Dwapar Yuga, we find in Goloka, the Lila, Radha Govinda separate. But if from the angle of vision, of unity, we can see them properly, they are one and same. And one and same, what will be the nature of that substance? It is Chaitanya. Again, he has both of them combined has become Chaitanya. The outer part is like Radha, and the internal Krishna. Krishna, when he embraces his potency himself, he plays the part of the potency, his substance. Chaitanyakham prakatamudhana tadvayam chaitkamahtam. Chaitanyakham prakatamudhana Radha Bhava Duti Swarutam, Naumi Krishna Swarupam, then who is Chaitanya? Radha Bhava Duti, the luster and the mood, the inner self and the outer expression of Radha and the Krishna, both combined, we find him as Chaitanya now. The outer expression, the apparent side is like Radha. The energy that expresses outwardly to the environment like Radha, searching for Krishna to be united. And the Krishna himself is searching for himself. When influenced by the tendency of Radha, then colored by that, then Krishna himself searching for him. Where is Krishna? This is written by Srila Maharaj. What is the highest conception of Sri Chaitanya Avatar? Who is Chaitanya internally? The Swayam Avatar Chaitanya, that Krishna in the mood of Radha, mood and luster of Radha, we find Krishna. Sees the truth, is searching himself. What am I? What am I? Who am I? Which is the nature of infinity. But in other places, Vrindavan Das Thakur also, they have given an example like that. Lag boli chali jai sindhu tari bari, jasi sindhu boli goti bari. There is a competition between Nityananda and Chaitanya Dev. Baladev and the devotional section, represents the devotional section, and the towards whom the devotion is
directly
pointed. Both are infinite. Whole devotee class as a whole is infinite, Shakti, potency, and to whom devotion is directed, he is also infinite. There is a competition. He is serving with infinite encouragement, taking the name. I shall try to finish your glory. The Nityananda Prabhu, the devotee says, I must know you as whole self. But this side is also infinite. As much as his approach can't finish. In this way, both the parties are in competition, the potency and the substance. When both combined, comes. I have got a slok in Rivodhama Stotram. I put there the dancing temperament of Mahaprabhu shows that dancing as if in madness, that he is suffering, what he first he has got, he has attained. So, in satisfaction he is dancing is an emblem of satisfaction. The highest type of dancing is the satisfaction of highest realization. So madly dancing, he has attained his object. Shows that Ananda, when in dancing mode, he expressed that I have attained that thing. So he is so. And the Kirtan is distributing himself to the environment. These two symptoms, in the most intensified way, is proof positive that Mahaprabhu is the ultimate reality. The dancing showing that he is self-sufficient, and his kirtan is distributing into the environment. This is his nature dynamic. Atma Bantanam, and not Tanam. This shows that Mahaprabhu is ultimate reality. By dancing and chanting about himself in the extreme order, proves his own reality of ultimate state. So Radha Krishna Pranayavritti Radhini Shakti Rasmat Ekatmana Bhavibhuvya Dhiyaviram Patudo. So in Goloka, the finding is this by the Acharya. The two compartments in the highest state. In one compartment, Krishna is enjoying with his paraphernalia. The another arrangement where they all combined, giving his own capital, own wealth to the public, giving himself. Two types of ideals in the ultimate reality. One is enjoying within him, another the distribution of the same enjoyment of the same degree to others. These two compartments in the same level. That is to be shown in that temple. In Golokadham, two compartments, Audarya, Madhurya. Madhurya had Krishna is playing amongst with his own, and Audarya, and they are distributing it for others. The same thing, same level, the thing of the highest order, being tasting and throwing to others. At the same level, that love, highest love of the highest degree. And how gradually, the Swayam Bhagavan, then Swayam Prakash, then Vilas, Vaibhava, Pabhava, these gradations they have in Krishna also. Krishna when by the side of Radharani, and then when by the side of a gopi, then he is Prabhava Prakash. When he is in Mathura, he is Prabhava Vilas. When he is in Dwaraka, Vaibhava Vilas. In this way, a gradation in Krishna. Then from Dwaraka, next lower position, Ajodhya, Vatsalya. Then the Narayana. Narayana has got his 14 delegated self for different 4 groups and 14 in number. There is that Nrsimha, and the one Krishna name is also there, Narayana. In this way. Then below that, Shivalok, Mahavishnu Shivalok. Below that there is Brahmalok. Below that there is Viraja. Below that this perverted creation begins. Exploitation, this black marketing. That is to think that this is mine and to try to enjoy. I belong to the highest owner, deviated from that. I own all these things and I want to enjoy. A perverted reflection. And that is from Satyalok, it is coming down gradually. In different stages, this 14 worlds here, 14 planes of enjoyment, exploitation. In this way, it is to be shown cleverly to penetrate into the scientific brain, that you all are leaders encouraging exploitment and ruining them, that binding them with reaction. Your Newton says so. Every reaction. You are the culprits. All culprits. You scientists, you are looting glory, but all culprits, black market, agents. To attack them wholesale, to make them foundation. The foundation should be taken from out under the pit. To attack them. Swami Maharaj this, remove this fossil conception. Fossil conception of the prime cause. You have to demolish them, pulverize them. So exploitation, renunciation, and then dedication. And degree of dedication, degree of exploitation. And the degree of renunciation also. The Buddhists of the Viraja, renunciation of the type of Viraja, that the verge of exploitation. And then the beginning of the fruit of dedication. There is no buffer state between the margin. Margin also are 2 conceptions, near the Prakriti, exploitation, near the dedication. This is the margin of plane, and that is renunciation. Renunciation, then nothing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Gaur, Gaur, Hare Gaur, Gaur. Hare Gaur, Hare Gaur, Hare.
Jai Vishnupada Brahma Srila Bhakti Srila Goswami Maharaj ki
Bhakti Jajavat Maharaj ki jai, Karan Maharaj ki jai, Prakash Maharaj ki jai, Arvind Maharaj, Parvat Maharaj, Adar Maharaj ki jai, Bhaktivinda ki jai, Hare Ram Sankirtan ki jai.
Gaurav Premanand.